Many pilots start their flight training at a non-towered airport. A non-towered airport is one without an operating control tower. You can find these types of airports in Class Gulf and Class Echo airspace. Pilots are not required to make any radio calls at a non-towered airport, but when you fly to one for the first time, you may be overwhelmed by the amount of traffic. Airplanes can suddenly appear from nowhere, and sometimes without warning. Non-towered airports are like a four-way stop sign where everyone shows up at the same time and nobody knows whose turn it is to go. Because of this, the FAA strongly encourages pilots to make position reports and to communicate with other pilots while operating at uncontrolled airfields. Making these position reports and following the recommended traffic pattern procedures can have an astounding effect on the safety and efficiency of a non-towered airport. Non-towered airports usually have 3 frequencies dedicated to operations at a particular airport. These frequencies are the Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, UNICOM, and Automated Weather Broadcast Station. Weather station frequencies will vary from airport to airport, but communication frequencies used at non-towered airports are always assigned a frequency between 122.7 and 123.075. The most commonly used frequency is the Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, which most pilots refer to as the CTAF. This is the frequency that you should make position reports on. Nearby airports may also share the same CTAF frequency, so don't be surprised if you hear another aircraft's transmission from another airport. Generally, when operating in the traffic pattern at traffic pattern altitude, you will not be able to hear transmissions coming from airports other than the one you are currently at. UNICOM is usually on a frequency of 122.905, but it can also share the same frequency as an airport CTAF. UNICOM can be used as a means for pilots to talk to someone on the ground and find out information about the airport, such as the runway in use and the field conditions. UNICOM operators are not required to communicate with pilots. The specific frequencies for an airport's CTAF, UNICOM, and weather station can be found on VFR aeronautical charts as well as in the chart supplement. The order of events from your first transmission to your last transmission at a non-towered airport will go something like this regardless of the phase of flight. First, listen to the automated weather broadcast to determine the altimeter setting and the wind direction. Second, announce your position relative to the airfield and state your intentions to the CTAF. Third, listen for other traffic. Pay particular attention for any potential traffic conflicts. Fourth, continue to make position reports as your distance from the airport changes. 5. If staying in close traffic, at the beginning of each leg, report the specific leg you are on. Phrasing position reports is easy. Remember the 5 W's from the last lesson? We're going to use the same format to make our position reports. Since there is no controlling agency at an uncontrolled airport, we need to address all the aircraft currently using the airspace around the airport. The way we group all of them together is by stating the airport's name followed by the word traffic. For example, we would address all the aircraft using the Boundary County Airport by saying Boundary County Traffic. Stating who you are talking to at the beginning and end of each transmission is a common practice at uncontrolled airports. We also need to take a more matter-of-fact stance with our transmissions since we are not asking permission from a controlling agency to take off and land. At uncontrolled airports, state that you are taking off or taxiing as if it was happening in present tense. That being said, always make sure you check for traffic before you move the airplane. One last thing. At uncontrolled airports, you do not have to tell everyone that you have picked up the weather. Controllers are the only people interested that you know the current weather. Let's take a listen to what a position report at a non-towered airport would sound like.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, taxiing from the north ramp to runway 20, Boundary County Traffic.
Departing a non-towered airport is easier and quicker than departing a towered airport. The first thing to do is listen to the automated weather broadcast if your airport has one. Listen for the wind direction and the altimeter setting. If there is no weather station, look at the windsock or other traffic at the airport to determine the runway in use, and then adjust your altimeter to indicate the airport's elevation.
Boundary County Airport, automated weather observation, 0305 Zulu weather, wind 180 at 8, visibility more than 10, sky condition clear below 12,000, temperature 21 Celsius, 2.13 Celsius, altimeter 29993, remarks, density altitude 3,500.
Once the engine is running and the cockpit is all set up, determine the route you will use to get to the runway in use. Look for traffic on the taxiway, make your position report, and begin your taxi.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, taxiing from the north ramp to runway 20, Boundary County Traffic.
When ready for departure, check the runway and final approach corridor visually and listen for traffic that may be landing. When you are sure it is safe to do so, taxi out onto the runway and announce your departure.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, taking off runway 20, departing to the south, Boundary County Traffic.
When you are an acceptable distance away from the airport, maybe 5 miles or greater, make your last call on CTAF.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, 5 miles south, departing the area to the south, Boundary County Traffic.
If you are staying on the traffic pattern to practice takeoffs and landings, you should make a position report after turning each new leg in the circuit. These calls can also be useful if you are departing on a different leg of the traffic pattern rather than the upwind. Make sure you precede each leg of the traffic pattern with the direction of your turn to each leg, excluding final and upwind.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, taking off runway 20, remaining in left traffic, Boundary County. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning left crosswind, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning left downwind, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning left base, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning final, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic.
The first step to arriving and departing at any airport is to listen to the field conditions reported on the weather broadcast system. Listen for the wind direction and the altimeter setting. If there is no weather station, look for the windsock or other traffic at the airport to determine the runway in use and adjust your altimeter if possible. You can use the altimeter setting from a nearby airport's weather reporting station if your airport doesn't have one. Determine your position relative to the airport and plan out how you will enter the traffic pattern for arrival. Look out for other aircraft. Once you have a plan and you know it's safe, announce your position and intentions at least 8 to 10 miles from the airport.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, 10 miles south, inbound to land, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic.
Keep making position reports as you get closer to the airport. Be sure to follow the recommended traffic pattern entry techniques as appropriate to your airport. In this scenario, we will enter midfield 45 degrees relative to the downwind leg.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, 5 miles south, inbound to land runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, 3 mile 45 to the left downwind, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning left downwind, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning left base, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic. Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, turning final, runway 20, Boundary County Traffic.
Once the aircraft is past any hold markings and clear of the runway, announce that you are clear of the runway. If you already have a plan on how to get to where you park your aircraft, announce your intentions to taxi in the same call.
Boundary County Traffic Cessna 25 Tree 9er Bravo, clear runway 20, taxiing to the ramp, Boundary County.